Hello everyone, this here is the stereo system I have out in the garage. It's a Zenith all-in-one with Zenith Allegro 2000 speakers. I think I got this for like 30 or 40 bucks at a thrift store a while ago. Cosmetically it's not in the greatest shape, but it does the job just fine. It's been serviced, but it's time to be serviced again. And I'm not talking about the record changer, I'm talking about the 8-track recorder. This has the Tanashin mechanism with the plastic head holder that is cracked. There's also something that I would like to modify about this. So the interesting thing about this 8-track recorder here is that by default there's no auto stop. There's no button for auto stop, so it just will continuously play. That's kind of annoying when I'm out in the garage if I want to pop in a cartridge, and if I'm not anywhere near it and it changes track from 4 back to 1, it's going to start looping around again. However, whenever it's in fast forward, if it goes past 4 to 1, it will auto stop. So I want to see if there's a wire I can jump somewhere to where I will get the auto stop feature, obviously without it being on fast forward all the time. So I'm going to look into that as well. This is definitely not the highest quality piece of audio equipment in the world. You can see it's made out of particle board there, but that's really crumbling. Anyway, it held me off long enough. I think this is a product of the, I'd say probably the late 70s. It's got a decent amount of inputs and outputs. We've got tape out, aux in, and a set of 2 speakers. It also has a pass-through for 120 volts there. And I believe this is where the fuse is. Now, if I recall, the way to pull this apart is all through the bottom. I believe Zenith made another variant of this that did not have a record changer on top and actually had a phono input. If someone wants to correct me if I'm wrong, they're more than welcome to. But here, I'll give you a good view of the front. There's a spider web in there. We'll see if we can rectify that as well. But, yeah, definitely not the highest quality record changer here. I've got a Crosley slip mat on it because this is just pure plastic here, and you can see at one point I accidentally broke a part of the cartridge, so it's being taped together, but it works. And if I ever want to play records, I really rarely play records out in the garage. I can, so looks like it was in a cycle. Interesting. But I've got it locked down so I can turn it over and not have to worry about it bouncing around. So I will start with pulling those screws off the bottom. Alright, I got a part here. There is the Tanashin mechanism with the cracked head holder.
CRACK-O-MATIC.
And this is the fast forward button, so we'll look into that and see if I can bridge a connection on that, so I'll get the auto stop feature. Alright, so here we go. Here's the demonstration of that fast forward feature. So normally I can cycle through all of the programs and it will just be continuous. However, if I turn it on fast forward, you can see it's spinning about twice as fast there, and it goes past 4, it stops, but only on fast forward. Now, the way to reset it is, one, you can either pull the cartridge out and put it back in, or press pause and it will reset it and it will begin playing again. Okay, after violently ripping wires off the switch, I've found the right one. It turns out that this light blue wire is what controls the auto stop. So now in normal play mode, when it goes past program 4, it will stop. So this little thing, which I originally thought housed the fuse, actually is just a blank plate. Now I don't know what this blank plate would have originally been for, but it just so happens to perfectly fit one of these little rocker switches, so that's an option. Okay, so I decided that I am going to use this hole here, whatever this hole was originally supposed to be. I used my label gun here. I ended up having to use super glue because apparently this aftermarket labeling stuff is not as good as the original Dymo stuff. But the blue wire is the original wire that went to the switch, and I have soldered in this white wire, which I think originally came from a ceiling fan where that blue switch originally was. Currently I have the blue jumpered to the white, and as you can see, we can cycle through all the programs and it continues on playing. But as soon as we disconnect it, it stops. Cool, we have auto stop. Okay, I got the mechanism reinstalled, and I have zip tied and routed the wiring. The switch is going to be right about here, and this seems to be a sufficient amount of wiring. I might end up putting another zip tie right here or something, but this should be good. You can see it's all well secured. So now I'm going to put some plugs on the end of this. Alright, I got the switch installed, although I'm going to have to uninstall it whenever I put the unit back together. To address the cracked head holder, I'm going to have to glue it back together. I'm going to need to support the sides of it. So I think I'll use some super glue and maybe chunks of leftover zip tie. I think that's what I did for the other Tanashin mechanisms that I've repaired in the past. I think this should work fine. Like I said, I took 2 pieces of like the cut off of a zip tie and then super glued it on there. Now I'm gonna clean the head even though it's not that dirty. I had to melt off some of that zip tie because it pushed out that grounding bar too far and it would touch the end of some cartridges. It still sticks out a little bit, but not nearly as much, so it's hard for it to drag on the cartridge, and it would cause an issue with it aligning like on tracks 3 and 4. So now that's been fixed. Belt's fine on this unit. I'm not going to worry about replacing it. Alright, so here it is put back together, and I have it on auto stop mode. So now it'll play through the programs, and once it goes back to 1, it will stop. Like I said, I don't know why this was not included on this unit. I believe this is a gold star. I saw stuff that indicated gold star, and by the way, the date code on this is 79. Switch is on the back, so it's not super convenient to get to, but this isn't something I'm ever really going to change. I'd always want it to be on auto stop. So anyway, to kick it back into play, you just press the pause and it will start up again. Anyway, that is all for now. Thank you for watching.